Hi knitters, it's Nancy Queen from NobleKnits, and today I'm making this gorgeous mitered square baby blanket. And what if I told you it's a beginner project, it uses one skein of yarn, and anyone can knit this. I'm going to show you step by step how to make it, so stay with me. You can find the full list and links to how to get all of the products in the description below. So we're going to start by casting on 3 stitches, and I'm going to make a slip knot. Put that slip knot on the needle and cast on another 2 stitches. That slip knot will count as our first stitch. Now we're going to turn our work and knit those 3 stitches, knit the first row. Okay, now we are going to work an increase on this. So we're going to knit 2 stitches. Then we're going to place our marker on this row. This marker's a little big, but it works. Okay, now we're going to make an increase, and on make one increase, we're going to pick up the bar in between the 2 stitches. So you have the stitch here, and there's the bottom of the stitch, and the stitch here, and the bottom of the stitch. And this bar in between is what you're going to pick up. So you're going to pick up that bar and then knit that stitch. Then you're going to knit the last stitch. So then that row's done, and now we'll go to the setup row. That was the setup row, and now this is every row of the rest of the pattern until you're done with yarn and you're ready to bind off. So you're going to knit across to the stitch marker, slip the marker, make an increase by picking up that bar that's in the middle of the next 2 stitches, knit that stitch, knit the remaining stitches on the needle. So we've made an increase. So we're going to increase 1 time right after the marker on every single row. And it's really easy. This is the entire pattern, so you can get a really nice rhythm down with it. I'm going to slip my marker. There's the bar in the middle. We're going to pick that up from the back, knit that stitch, and knit to the end of the row. Okay, so I've stopped right here in the center of the row because I want you to understand how this looks. I know when I started doing mitered knitting, I found it very confusing to understand what the shape was actually looking like as I was knitting. So if you knit to the stitch marker, and then just set down your project and take a look at it, you'll see that you've actually, the way that it creates a turn in your work, that you're actually knitting a square. And your square is just going to keep getting larger and larger as these sides get wider and wider. It'll just keep growing outward. So that's what this is going to look like, and I'm going to continue on and then show you how to bind off. So I'd like to give you completed measurements for this project, and there will be a free PDF download if you click the link above or down below in the description. So this baby blanket measures just a little, almost 23.5 inches wide and 3 by 23.5 inches wide. So like I said, it's a square. And I ended up, this is always a popular question, how many stitches I end up with when I'm almost out of yarn. I ended up with 106 stitches on each side. So 106, then the marker 106, and then I bound off. And you want to make sure that you always have enough yarn to bind off. Make sure you have 5 to 6 yards of yarn left to bind off on this project, because you're going to have nearly 220 stitches that you're going to need to bind off at the end. Now I'm ready to begin binding off. So to bind off, I'm going to knit the first stitch, knit the second stitch, and then take this first stitch up, over, and off the needle. And you're just going to keep doing that all the way across the row. Knit the next stitch, take the first stitch up and over. And it's a very easy way to bind off, but when we get to the center, I want you to work the increase, because it'll make a better corner at the end. Okay, I'm now at the end of my row, and you can see what a beautiful shape your blanket is going to have when it's completed. You're just going to keep knitting, and then when you get to the end, bind it off. And I'm going to clip my work, leave a little tail so that you can wind that in, and then insert that tail through the loop to secure it. And then you're just going to weave in the yarn ends. This is really easy to do in garter stitch. You're just going to find a garter row and kind of weave in and out along the stitch, almost like you're going to be doing a duplicate stitch. So I find a row, and then I'm going to just follow this stitch. And now I'll do this stitch. Now this one. And then what I like to do, just to make sure it's secure, is I go back a few stitches. And then I clip that close to the work. For a full free pattern, if you'd like a full PDF, click on the link up above and you'll be able to get the free version of the pattern. Print it, keep it with you.